Selling to franchises is hard. Stick around to learn how Steve breaks through those barriers by using a customer first mindset. Welcome back, everybody, to today's episode of Clicks and Bricks. And today we've got a very special guest, Steve with SunrisePremiums.com, is going to tell us a little bit about his founding story, how he overcomes adversity, and a little tip about his favorite technology. Steve, can you introduce yourself to our guest, please?
Thank you. My name is Steve Kessler. I'm the owner and founder and CEO of Sunrise Premiums here in New York City. We are a travel incentive company where we provide and design travel incentive vouchers to all different types of companies, from small mom and pop stores all the way up to Fortune 500 companies that use our vouchers primarily as gifts for prospective clients, existing clients, referrals, and for employee recognition. We design hotel, cruise, and resort certificate vouchers.
Fantastic. So that's a pretty unique business, right? And there's been a lot of businesses out there that do that kind of thing. And how do you, well, let's take a step back. How did you get into that business to start? Like, what were you doing prior to your company? And then how did you transition from that into owning your own company? Did it start as a side hustle, or did you just dive all the way in?
Well, back in the tail end of 1998, I was in the restaurant business down in Florida, where I was residing with my family. And we sold our restaurant, and we were left with some funds, but we just did not know what to do with it or where we were going in life. We just had no clue. Well, a friend of mine was working at an incentive company, travel incentive company, and gave me a suggestion that perhaps maybe I would like to come on and sell travel incentives. My initial rebuttal to that was that I've never been in that business before, and I've never been on the phone before, so I would not be successful in doing such because I had no clue about anything like that. Well, to make a long story short, moving forward, I entered into that. I got a job at this incentive company back in 98, and it grew on me from the very first day that providing a high perceived valued gift to somebody that the consumer is not paying anywhere near what the retail value is, yet alone the sponsor who is buying it, it just grew on me. And I learned the business and stayed with that position of working for a company for approximately 6 months. And at that time, my cousins and I, who were not doing anything at the time, we decided, let's open up our own business. And we partnered with another company that would fulfill the actual vacations for us because we did not want to fulfill. We wanted to sell the vacation vouchers and have a company to fulfill them. Well, we partnered with Prestige Travel Systems back in 1999. They're in Tampa, and they've been in business for 35 years. So from that day on, we opened up our own business, selling travel vouchers to companies. And when people would redeem it, they'd redeem through Prestige.
Okay. And you're still going through Prestige?
Yes.
Okay. That's fantastic. That's fascinating, actually. So I talk a lot about, whenever you're starting a business, defending your position. And in your particular case, is you chose a primary vendor to do all of your fulfillment. Do you have a backup vendor? Like that's a huge decision for your business, right? Because your entire business is dependent on them. If they have a problem, raise their prices, change, go out of business. So how do you justify that? One is, hey, I'm going to outsource this big piece of my business, right? Or do it in-house. That's a big decision. And then how do you, do you do a risk assessment on an annual or every 5-year basis on, hey, we should start thinking about insourcing this instead of keeping it outsourced?
Oh, that's a good question. When you say outsource, we don't believe that Prestige is outsourced to us because we're partners financially. So okay. We're almost like we're two separate companies, but we're together financially.
And you have a vested interest in each other's success.
Correct.
Right.
But then again, on the other side of the coin, throughout the course of time, especially in the last 10 years, we've been approached by many fulfillment companies that would like to take on our business. And at this time, there's no requirement for that, or there's no necessities for that.
Right. So the fact that there's several vendors in the marketplace that provide that service is a good way to mitigate your risk of having a business that you don't 100% defend. Whereas, like, I like to use White Castles a lot because they make their own buns, right? Because they want to maintain security that product from the entire soup to
Exactly.
nuts.
Exactly.
And it's a big decision for a business, and I've only recently have I started partnering with other companies and doing those things because when I was young, I got stuck in my head. One of my mentors said, "No, we eat our own dog food," and I took that probably a little too literally. And I've been
Yeah, right.
building and using my own stuff for the vast majority of my career. So I always am fascinated about this. When do I partner? When do I build it? When do I buy versus build? Right, and
Right. Well,
that's a big topic to overcome when you're doing business. I mean, it's a huge
exactly.
decision.
But for 23 years, it's worked, and it's worked really, really well. We've maximized the potential of it every single day.
Right. And my best advice for the listeners there is if you're thinking about that, just test a whole bunch of different things, right? So Steve he tested that, it worked. They poured gas on it, it kept working. They keep going. So if you're thinking about doing something, just try it, right? In today's market, you can get into these relationships and partnerships pretty risk free, right? A lot of people have trials and signups, and there's no long contracts anymore.
Right.
So today's world to start a business is 1,000 times easier than my first business I started was probably 95.
Sure.
That I actually made money. So the hurdles are way lower today than they've ever been to create these kinds of relationships and try different things. So I'd really beg of the listeners that if you're thinking about trying something, just try it. If it doesn't work, remodify it and keep going. So with that said, I do want to talk about something. I want to go off our normal script just a little bit because when I was doing research on your company, I did notice that you do business or you sell to a lot of franchisors, right? Which is a very challenging market to get into. I know that you have a unique product and a value proposition that is pretty solid, but getting into those franchisors, in my experience, has been a very big challenge, right? I have to go to their specific trade shows and things like that. Can you tell us a little bit about what, was there a tip or a trick that you used that really helped you break through the doors on getting these franchisors on board that you could then sell to their franchisees? Because that's a fantastic sales process that you have there.
Back in 2006, I believe it was 2006, we received a phone call from a franchisee of Liberty Tax Service here in New York. And he wanted to use our 3-day, 2-night vacation voucher to reward his clients when they do their tax returns with his office. And he had at that time about 30 franchises, stores in New York. It was one of their largest franchisees. So we started selling to him, and he started doing very, very well with it that first year. After that first season, I received a call from Liberty Corporate that they would like to speak with us. Well, they came up to New York from Virginia Beach, and we met, and we formed an alliance where we gave them special pricing, locked-in pricing to their franchisees that they could use simply. Come on and get your taxes done and receive a vacation voucher. Well, it started out with those initial 30 where we were selling to, and then the next season, I would say it went to, from those 30 stores, it went to pretty close to 500. And it's up to right around 1,500.
From that one franchisee or franchisor now.
Yeah.
Right.
So we provide a tremendous amount of Liberty Tax franchisees with our vacation vouchers for, oh my God, 16 years almost. And they're very successful with it.
Right.
They're very successful because people enjoy coming and getting their taxes done. Nobody enjoys that. But on the other side, walking out with a vacation voucher that they could use.
Right.
And they get referrals for it and all different ways how they use it. But it's been very successful, and that has led us to other types of franchisors that have expressed interest and have come on board with us.
Fantastic. So I think the important takeaway there is, and we talked about this a little bit before we started the show, Steve, was what Steve did is he did not think about selling the product at all. He just thought about what value can I create for my client, and he created a great value. He sold it on a small scale, and then it turns the entire script around to where I'm not out selling anymore, right? I'm not out hustling anymore. I'm creating value for the customers that I have, and they will tell their coworkers, their other people they deal with, and then you'll start getting phone calls from other people to create that same value for them. So,
well, yeah, if I might add, on that initial meeting with Liberty, and this is going back, they had some stores that were not up to snuff as far as volume goes. They were in some depressed areas, and they were struggling with their volume. Well, Liberty at that point said that they would like to purchase the vouchers for corporate, and what they want to do is disperse them to 50 or so stores that are not, coming up to the mark,
right,
as a gift from corporate. Well, that very first order that we received from corporate was, I think it was around 1,200 vacation vouchers.
that's probably a good day.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
very good day. But
Yes.
it's been a very good 15 years, where we go through sometimes 40 to 45,000 vouchers per year.
Wow.
It's with them, when the tax season starts. So that's been very successful for us, as far as franchising goes.
Right. That's fantastic. I love that story. So we're going to go on to the next little phase of the story. Absolutely great story. A lot of great insights. So I'm sure that throughout the years of business, and you've even hinted a little bit on the ebbs and flows, you've had some, some downturns in the marketplace and some challenges and times. What is your one trick or tip that you can give our listeners that you use to overcome those challenging days in business, right? There's scary days, there's, payroll days that you don't, or tax season, like real estate taxes, stuff like that. And you really struggling to, find the funds, and, probably I'm assuming you're probably pretty close to me now where you're like, okay, it's okay. We'll figure it out. No problem. But you don't always have that ability, right? When you first start, it's very scary. So
very scary.
How did you overcome that, right? Because I know that my trials and tribulations were near fatal at some points in my career. So,
right. Well, we've experienced times like that, but I firmly believe, because myself and my family and all of our employees, they don't work for us. They work with us. We all work together. So we come into our company every single day with the thought that we're all in this together, whether somebody's in data processing, somebody's in reservations. We all do this together. We work together. So nobody works for me. They work with me.
It's a great mantra.
We have a mission statement because we're in a sort of a vulnerable type business. It's sensitive. Mm-hmm. A lot of times people will say, how do I really know this is real? Well, how it's real is how we take care of your client. The most important feature of our program is not the company that's purchasing the vacation vouchers. They're number two. Number one is the person that is redeeming their voucher with us. It's their inherent right to receive what they were given. And companies trust us to put their customers in our hands. So we come to work every single day, whether it's we have some financial problems here or there, like everybody else in this world. We're not any different. We get the highs and the lows. We get good business. We get bad business. We get busy. We're not busy. But we're pretty steady over the course of the last 23 years. We just work through our problems and not try to get depressed about things, because we know tomorrow's another day.
Right.
And we have programs that enlighten companies. We have a product that helps clients, that helps companies. 100% true blue.
Right.
You hear a lot about a lot of marketing schemes and strategies, and there are a lot of great products out there. I've been in this business 23 years. I've probably received inbound calls, a million calls in 23 years of people trying to sell me a product. Well, guess what? 99% of those times, I put the phone down, said, thank you anyway, not interested.
Right.
Now I look upon that and say to myself, if I would have been a little bit more patient, just a little bit more patient with that person on the phone and listen to that person, what they're really trying to provide, I might have had some more business. Or I might have used a different tool because I didn't have, none of us do. We don't have patience. People call, not interested. People email, we're not interested. But I've learned, listen a little, just listen a little,
Right.
and you might benefit from that. So when you say, how did we weather the storm? It's our attitudes. We've had people that have worked for us for 13 years, our longest standing people. So we're all in this together. And we have a company that helps companies.
Right.
And it's a proven fact what we do. So that's how we get by.
That is fantastic. So I got three really great tips out of that. One, don't treat your you're a team, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. So, really focus on that team. Mindset is another huge aspect there. For pushing through in those really challenging times. And then three, just really believing in your product is
well, it's the product. It's not just about the profitability in it.
Right.
It's a 50-50 partnership. Yes, we're in business. We need to earn money. We need to earn a profit from every dollar that we sell. But it's 50-50 as far as when a company purchases 100 vouchers from us. We need to make that successful.
Right.
We need to make it successful. We need to redeem every single one with no hoops and no loops. And that's what we're known for.
Fantastic.
We're an A+ Better Business Bureau company, accredited. And in 23 years, we have never received one Better Business Bureau complaint, ever.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
and in an industry, and I don't like to talk about negativity very much, but in an industry that I'm sure has your particular industry is not void of scammers.
No, not at all.
I'm trying to say that the nicest way I possibly can.
No, you're saying that correctly. But when we, sometimes when you push credibility too much, it sounds a little,
Yeah.
But on the other side of the coin, people need to know what type of company we are.
Right.
When we don't have one complaint, and the BBB will back that up, not one in 23 years.
Right. That's impressive. Yes.
We're doing our job.
Absolutely. All right, we're moving on to the very last question, and this is not always my favorite question, but sometimes it is. And I don't have any insight on your answer at all. Because this Clicks and Bricks, we talk about business and technology. Is there a single piece of technology other than the internet that you use on a daily basis that has really helped you push your company forward, or helped you in any significant personal way?
The only thing I can tell you when you say not the internet, but it has something to do with the internet.
Yeah, most things do today.
We have on our website at www.sunrisepremiums.com, we have our chat line. And we've been using a chat line for the last 5 years. We're not a bot. We have a live representative manning the chat line till 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every night, 7 days a week. We got a lot of visitors coming to our site. That chat line has been one of the best investments that our company has ever made when it comes to marketing. And why do I say that? It's because when somebody comes onto our chat line, our agent that is on duty at that time will give them preliminary information about what we do and what they're looking for. How can we help you? Not so much what we can do, but how can we help you? Well, after about 2, 3 minutes of engagement and having a friendly conversation, we will ask that individual, would you like to set up a telephone call where a staff member can call you and provide you exact, precise details on pricing, on details about our vacation vouchers and how it could be a benefit to you? Well, 90% of the people that come onto our site immediately say, yes, please give me a call. Here is my number. They'll set it up right now, or they'll set it up for an hour from now, or 2 hours, or tomorrow. 90%. And it proves to us that it's the way you come off to people today. Because
Yes.
I have a theory that prior to the pandemic, customer service was essential. If you didn't give customer service, you're in trouble. Once the pandemic hit all of us, and hopefully it's going away now, I believe firmly that customer service today is required 50 times more than prior to the pandemic. Why? Because our country became sort of divided in a lot of different ways. People have different opinions. We're all entitled to our opinions. But we don't have that unison that we used to have.
Right.
And if you don't give customer service more than anything today and take care of your customer and let them feel that, you're not going to be successful. So it reverts back to that small little chat line where that prospect sees we're not pushing anything on you, because we do not do that.
Right.
All we want to do is just be a little bit more explicit than typing on a chat line. You'll
Yes.
like what you'll hear. Would you like to speak with us? You're going to like what you're going to hear.
Right.
So that's the piece of technology that has been exceptional to us.
It's huge. So the chat lines on your website, and I would say that a lot of small businesses fail to realize that their website is a 24-hour a day salesperson, right? So
Right.
that is very important. I like the website piece, but specifically the online chat, we use it too. I have been tempted to use the bots, but I've stayed away from it. We're still, we're always researching technology because that's what we do here. But we've stayed away from the bots as well to keep that personal touch, because I'm still
Exactly.
my other business is a stateside hosting company, and we're all U.S. based support, so I really dive right into that really hard. I would also say that for the listeners out there, that absolutely chat lines on your website are a huge benefit for it's a non-intrusive way for your customer to start a communication process with you. And I would also say that today, start thinking about text line communication and text communication with your clients as well, as we're moving into this new world. And everybody's got a phone today. People are much more susceptible to communicate with a business over their cell phone via text message than they are almost any other way.
Well, very true. But it just gives you, a real thought of speaking with somebody on a chat line and having them feel kind of confident that this company stands out a little bit from competitors where we'll even call and nobody even answers the phone. Here, this person's taking the time to befriend us, to show us that the Sunrise Premiums is the company that perhaps maybe we should speak with about generating some more traffic for our company.
Absolutely. So, and I would say that on another note, on the bot stuff, if you're going to use a bot, I would almost make it cheesy and so obvious that it's a bot that you're not turning your users off. I absolutely hate it when somebody tries to make a bot look like a real person. So if you want that genuine feel, pay for the staff to give the genuine feel. Don't try to make a bot look real, because you're going to fail and it's going to look really bad. So if you're going to make it a bot, make it obvious that it's a bot. Tell your users, be transparent. Don't try to hide that you're using bots. It's a big turnoff. I promise you. So that's almost the end of the show. Steve, do you have any offers that you would like to give our listeners? And Chris is going to throw your phone number and URL up on the bottom of the screen there.
Sure. One of our most popular programs, not only because It's our least expensive program, but it has some really decent quality to it. It's our very, very popular Getaway USA 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher that companies use for many different reasons. Well, Liberty Tax uses it. It's a 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher with 50 different destinations for people to choose from. The only fees that the person that receives it is they put up a $50 refundable deposit and pay the hotel tax. When they get their deposit back, there's a small $10 processing fee. So all they're going to pay is $10 plus hotel tax. There's never another fee.
Right.
They're all guaranteed to be 3-star hotel properties. Companies use it as a way to do seminars, presentations, for purchasing a product. There's getting referrals, all different ways.
Right.
Generally speaking, that particular program is a very cost-effective, economical $8 per voucher with a minimum purchase of $50. We would offer it to all our listeners for only $4, 50% off that we would give it to.
So how much is that total for the 50 vouchers?
So they're going to pay $4 each. It would be $200.
$200. You get 50 vouchers that you can give out
and
to whoever you want.
Yeah, you have 2 years to issue them, which is a very long time. And every time you issue one, that recipient then has another year. So it's a very economical, cost-effective way.
Well, I think we just found our gift to give away to subscribers for contests, right? Like that to me is a no-brainer, right? To get your foot wet in giveaways,
right?
Right. That's a pretty easy giveaway.
Just as a short example, one of our very large clients is called Cars for Kids.
Okay.
They are the largest car donation company in America since 1965. You donate your car, receive a vacation voucher. They're nationwide. They've been with us since 2005. They use this product. Donate your car, get a vacation voucher. They're all over the United States, but here in New York City and Connecticut, New Jersey, the tri-state area, everyone knows Cars for Kids. They're on the radio, they're on the TV, they're on billboards, the New York State Thruway, they're all over. They use 100,000 of these vouchers a year.
Wow. It's fantastic. So, okay.
Somebody wants to give somebody a really nice gift.
Yeah.
This is it.
Well, I think you found another customer today. So, yeah, I think we'll
on board.
We'll definitely move forward with something like that. That's a no-brainer to me, just to kick it out there and get something nice to your users, and they get they get a great place to stay.
They're all 3-star hotel properties,
right,
all across the country.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming today. I very much appreciate your time. If you would like to, if any of the listeners would like to join my text line community, 314-370-2871 is my personal text line community. I will never try to sell you anything. What you'll get is motivational tips and tricks, maybe some business news here and there, and some crypto news every once in a while as well. That's it for today's show, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and get to work.